Hello, hello. I want to welcome everybody to another edition of the Urban Minds Podcast Sports Edition with your host, Harry Jay Hicks, man. I hope everybody's feeling blessed out there, man. I hope everybody's staying safe. I want to say I hope everybody's putting their higher power first. But yeah, man, we got some sad news today in the sports world, man. A few hours ago, um, figure skaters and coaches aboard a flight that crashed in Washington D.C. So around 12 a.m. last night. I mean 12 a.m. this morning, rather. Excuse me. But yeah, man. It's sad, man. And, what I mean, the only thing we can hope is keep the family members that's left behind in our prayers. But it says, man, figure skaters, their coaches, and family members were passengers on an American Airlines jet that collided with an Army helicopter near Ronald Reagan National Airport and crashed into the Potomac River in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday. The Skating Club of Boston said six members or associates were killed in the crash. Doug Zugby, the executive director at the Skating Club of Boston, said skaters Jenna Hahn and Spencer Lane and two of their parents were among those killed. Also killed were Evgenia Shishkova and Vadim Numov, who won the pair's title at the 1994 World Championships and competed twice in the Olympics. They were listed as coaching at the Boston club. So yeah, man, very sad moment, very sad situation. You know, they said they crashed into a helicopter near the Ronald Reagan National Airport. So what I mean, just want to give our prayers out to them, man. You know, like I said, it's sad. Some of these people competed in the Olympics, so of course they're very talented. I know they would definitely be missed, man, by family members, fans, what I'm saying, as well as the country, you know what I mean? But yeah, it said Washington Fire Chief John Donnelly said Thursday morning that it is not believed that there are any survivors and the efforts have shifted to a recovery operation. Donnelly said 27 bodies have been recovered from the airplane and one from the helicopter. So, I'm saying my condolences goes out to those, man, that's affected by this, and again, you know, um, it's a very sad situation, man, and y'all can see more of that story, man, on ESPN. If you want to get involved, like I said, it just came out this morning, so I know they got more. Probably, they're gonna investigate some more before they start releasing more articles or more stories. But it was collided with an Army helicopter, man, near the Ronald Reagan airport. But yeah, it's not it's not a good thing, man. My prayers goes out to those people, man. My prayers go out to those, man. But and then we got some news, man, with Victor Wembanyama. We're gonna shift focus a little bit. Got into it last night, man. They played the Clippers. Uh, he was heated after Zubac knocked him to the floor, which a lot of people think is intentional. A lot of people say that was an intentional hit, yeah, and of course that's going to happen, man. To when you come into this to the sport and a lot of hype. What I'm saying, like Detroit Pistons did it to Michael Jordan for years. At some point, you're gonna meet. What I mean, you gonna ruffle some feathers, and they're gonna try to, what I mean, attack you. And if it's in the game, it's gonna be physically. So yeah, to say Wembanyama didn't take too wasn't too kind of the gesture, I should say. You know what I mean? So he didn't take too kind of the gesture, but that comes with the territory, especially when you're a superstar, man. It's a lot, I wouldn't say haters, but it's a lot of competition. You're gonna bring the more competitive side, you know what I'm saying, out of your opponent, and that's with anything, whether it's basketball, football, boxing, baseball. Like you gonna be a little, I mean, like you see sometime in baseball when a guy come up, he done been hitting home runs all year. You know what I'm saying? And some pitchers just go at him like they throw a ball and make him step back or something. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what it's about. It's about the competition. Like I don't know if it's what was you know intentional. I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be a little more aggressive when it comes to superstars, or you know what I mean, you wanna let them know, like, not tonight. You know what I mean? That's not happening tonight. You gonna come strong or don't come at all. So and then Wemby didn't take too kind of it, and Wemby wanted to go at Zubac, so he had to be escorted, you know what I mean, and his teammates. Uh, and it's what it is. That's part of the game. I've been through it. I'm pretty sure a lot of us in the sports world, man, who played sports, whether it's in high school, college, you know what I mean, or at the top level, the biggest level, the NBA, you understand that some people are gonna come at you a little harder. You know what I mean? When you got that superstar banner over your head, So, Steph Curry, man, that was a good game. Steph Curry against the Thunder. Like I said, the Thunder, my pick out of the West. I think the Thunder's going to be there, even though they're a young team. I still think they're tough mentally. They play good defense. They're a good defensive team. And of course, Shea Gilgeous Alexander, man, is one of those players that I think he's definitely a superstar. In my eyes, he's definitely a superstar, and he's not shy. He's not he has a laid back demeanor, but he's aggressive, and he gets his spots, man. He know how to get his spots on the floor. You know what I'm saying? He can get his teammates involved if need be, and he can take over a game as well. So that was a good game, man. But of course, the great Steph Curry came through again, man, with another three. You know what I'm saying? Probably one of the best 3-point shooters I've seen in my time. I can definitely say that. I haven't seen anybody shot the ball as from the three as good as Steph Curry. And I took my hat off to him, man. He's definitely one of the best 3-point shooters. I don't see nobody, this generation. I don't even know if it's going to be the next. The way he shoots the ball, man, is just, it's compared, it's second to none. It's second to none, man. It's second to none. Okay, man, and of course, man, we're gonna talk about we're gonna go to some football, man. Free agency. We're gonna talk about free agency, and I want to bring up free agents because there was a segment on ESPN yesterday when they was talking about how, and it's my team, of course. When we talk sports, I have to bring them up. Either two teams I'm gonna bring up, man, is the Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, or the New York Knicks. Both franchises, man, have had their share of struggles over like decades of not being able to get that big one. And they were saying like how Jerry Jones don't go out in the free agency. Jerry, I'm pleading for you, man. Go out in the free agency. Just test the waters. You can't teach your old, excuse me. You can't teach your old dog new tricks, man. Go out and test that free agency, man. But we don't really spend money in free agency, which they pointed out. And I have to agree after I go do my research. It's not me, but we do draft good. We do draft good. We got Michael Parsons. We had Ezekiel Elliott. Dak Prescott, and I know they kind of hang their hat on that, but I think it's need for a change in Dallas. I think we have to start exploring the free agents market a little more because I think we it's a lot of good free agents, a lot of pickups. Look at Baltimore, and I say I wasn't too high on the pick of what's his name, man, the running back, man. They said we should have got. I can't believe I forgot his name. But from Alabama, you know what I'm saying? Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry. I think we should have got Derrick Henry, but Jerry was like he didn't fit our offense. But Derrick Henry can fit anybody's offense. All you gotta do is hand him the ball. But the offensive line that we got, Dotto did his thing, man. He did all right. Dowdle did his thing. He did all right. I think he did better than expected. I would have liked to see a little more from him, but at the same time, like Derrick Henry would have definitely brought some good things. And then, of course, we lost Dak. So I know we're gonna hold that. Like, okay, we lost Dak. I didn't think Cooper Rush was too bad. He played. He had us. We were still competitive down the stretch, man. With Cooper Cup. Cooper Rush. Excuse me. With Cooper Rush, we was still a little more competitive. Still competitive with him. I think the defense fell off a lot. I think that was a lot of our issues. The defense fell off, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think we definitely have to show up our defense. I also want to give a big shout out to the Jets. I like the Jets too, man. Aaron Rodgers, I don't know, man. I think they should keep him one more year. If he decides to come back, I'm not sure if he will. But if he decides to come back, but a lot of people are against that. They see even in the locker room some to some degree. But I think the big hire Aaron Glenn, man. I think Aaron Glenn going to change the culture in New York, man, for the Jets. I really think he's going to change the culture for the Jets. And I think we should have brought in. I'm saying, in my opinion, even though we let all these good coaches get away, we couldn't get Dion. Schottenheimer. I'm not saying that I'm not hoping he does well, but I'm not too sold on Schottenheimer as our head coach. Like I said, somebody like a Rex Ryan, we should have brought Rex Ryan in. Just at least a couple of years, to give him a 2 or 3 year contract so he can change that culture, like make everybody accountable. I don't think our players are accountable or held accountable like a lot of these teams are in the league. I don't think the Cowboys players are held accountable. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, anyway, man, we want to say while 2 NFL teams are thinking about the biggest stage in sports, next weekend, the other 30 are preparing for next season. Every team is likely to attempt what the Eagles and general manager Howie Roseman did last offseason when the Birds showed up the weak spots on their roster by adding 2 All-Pros and a handful of other valuable contributors. Excuse me. See, that's what take me back to Dallas. We don't really go out in the free agency. Like, we wait till like the last days. Like, that first main free agent come out when you think you see a weak spot. And I'm gonna say our weak spot right now is the running game. Definitely, the running game is a weak spot. We need another receiver. So we need a running. We got the running game and the receiver. So I think a lot of our weak spots are basically on the offense because our defense didn't play too bad. You know, I was expecting them to play a lot better. Like I said, Diggs, our cornerback Diggs, man, I think he was still a little hurt. I think he's gonna get it back together this year. You know what I'm saying? I think we could use another linebacker because of course we had Kendricks and Kendricks is aging. I think we need another linebacker to come up in there. I think we should try to get that in free agency. We're not picking too high in the draft. We're like in the middle of the pack in the draft. You know, you still can get a good player. I think our draft should be more towards the defensive side. I think we should go out in the free agency, man. Get us a big time wide receiver. I don't know the receivers that's going to be available now, but I think that's what we should do. But anyway, man, so one way to do that: acquire players off the league's best rosters. A year ago, Sam Darnold was preparing for Super Bowl 58 as the backup to Brock Purdy in San Francisco. He ended up winning 14 games for the Vikings this season. On the other side of the ball, Nick Allegretti quietly put together a solid game for the Chiefs as Joe Thuney's replacement at guard, showing enough to become one of the many free agents who joined the Commanders in free agency. Allegretti shockingly came within 1 game of making it back to the title game with his new team. So see, yeah, we have to go after some of these big players in free agency. I'm speaking for the Cowboys. I know a lot of other fans might feel the same, but I think the Jets is another team that don't really go in free agency. I think they got a nice defense. I think the Jets gonna have to show up their offense. They got Adams. I don't know if Adams and if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back, what Adams' plans are. So you have to think about that too. Um, but yeah, man, a lot of these teams are building free agency. So let's run through the intriguing free agency and cut decisions for the Chiefs, Eagles, and other 12 playoff teams in order of seeding in both conferences, and try to figure out which players might be joining other organizations this offseason. You know what I'm saying? So Saquon Barkley isn't going anywhere. That's definitely. So I'm just going to touch on a couple. But yeah, free agency is coming up, man. Like we said, notable unrestricted free agents like you got Nick Bolton, the linebacker. That's for the Chiefs. You got Marquise Brown, Trey Smith, the offensive guard, McCall Hardman. You know what I'm saying? I think McCall Hardman, like I said, don't check. I'm not making this pro Dallas, but the Cowboys is my team from the heart. And I think, man, somebody like McCall Hardman could definitely be a good addition to our team. You know, I think he definitely could be a good, solid two receiver. He can play the slot. You know, a lot of speed. You know, so it's a lot of big names from the Chiefs, man, that's coming. And everybody's talking about Justin Fields. What the Steelers are going to do with Justin Fields? You know, it's a lot of questions that need to be answered, man. A lot of questions that need to be answered. And we're gonna go to some baseball news right quick. How Stephen A. says he's fed up with Steinbrenner's excuses for the Yankees. You know, and a lot of people Then Yankees lost a big piece this year. You know, since Juan Soto left, you know what I mean, and he signed with the Mets. You know what I'm saying? The Mets had some hitters already, so I think this is going to definitely show up their batters. You know what I mean? I think their offense is going. I think the Mets offense is going to be one of the top offenses this year. Juan Soto can hit the ball, partner. So yeah, it's going to be definitely going to be how could the Yankees replace him? It's on December the 8th, a month and 9 days after a nightmare fifth inning torpedoed the New York Yankees' hopes of overcoming a 3-0 deficit to the Los Angeles Dodgers in the World Series. The Yankees absorbed another franchise-shifting loss at the winter meetings in Dallas. Juan Soto wasn't returning, and he wasn't just not returning, he was signing with the Mets. You know, so it said the Yankees offered the superstar outfielder a 16-year, $760 million contract. I mean, he rejected. General Manager Brian Cashman and his front office turned to plans they had devised during their pursuit of Soto should they need to pivot. His departure set in motion a flurry of activity over a 12-day stretch in mid-December to attempt to raise the floor on a roster with franchise cornerstones Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole still in their primes. So yeah, the Yankees got some work to do now. Free agency, like I said, a lot of these people, man, free agency. You can build a team on free agency. You know, and again, I go back to my this is to all fans and general managers. Free agency is one of the best ways to build a team, especially when you can get some experience mixed with the young, because drafting a lot of times some of these players don't turn out to be who we expect them to be, but you go by the proven record. You know, you have to go by the proven record of these players. You got perennial Pro Bowlers, you got up and coming Pro Bowlers, you know what I'm saying, future Pro Bowlers and everything like that. So, you know what I mean, guys that has that experience, and then you draft and just to show up whatever other areas that you may be a little thin on. I think that's why the draft should be based on. You show up the areas that you're a little thin on. You know what I'm saying? And in my next, well, in a future sports edition, man, I'm going to give my opinions on what teams should make. I'm going to go do some research on where teams' weaknesses as well as their strengths were. And I'm having an addition on that. You know what I mean? Like I said, I pride myself on knowing about sports. You know, so at the end of the day, man, I think free agency is one of the best moves, and I'm speaking to my Dallas Cowboys and their fans. Like we need to start hitting that free agency market. That's where okay, we draft good, but see, we had Troy Aikman, we had Michael Irvin, we had Emmitt Smith, and again, like I said, we had Ezekiel Elliott, we had Dak, and C.D. Lamb stepped in. So yeah, we can draft good players and they turn out to I think so a lot of times exceed their expectations, but at the same time you got to bring in some proven veterans and not just the veterans that's probably on their way out. Not knock against Kendricks, but I think you know what I mean. I think we need a middle linebacker to go with Parsons. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I'm gonna do some research on that, man, and then we're gonna get into, you know what I mean, how some teams can show up their rosters. You know, that's the NBA and NBA, man. The NBA, like I said, the Thunder, Shea Gildress Alexander. I think he got my nod for MVP. I think now Anthony Davis is hurt, so I was putting him up there at least in the top 5 to 10. You know what I mean? Vote getters or whatever. You know. But yeah, it's a new era, it's a new regime, man. We see Wembanyama. I'm very impressed with the brother, man, and his game. You know what I mean? Very, very, very good talent, man. Very good talent. Definitely a superstar. Carl Anthony Towns, I like what he's doing in New York, man. Here with the Knicks, I really like what Carl Anthony Towns is doing. And of course, Brunson. I think the two brothers play together well. But yeah, man, it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to keep you all in the know about the sports, man, the sports world. Any comments, you know what I mean? You want to share some of your thoughts, you can always comment. Like I said, I'm on all major platforms, podcast platforms, YouTube at Harry Hicks 9952. We're starting to go, starting to take off. You know what I mean? It's starting to get good results from there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, join this podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, you know what I'm saying, comment, you know, and just keep the discussions going. Again, I appreciate everybody, man, that's been supporting me, that's been holding me down. It hasn't been easy, but of course we're gonna keep trying, man. We're gonna keep going, and you know what I mean. This it is what it is. I love y'all, man. I thank y'all for having my back and having my support, man. Thanks to all my subscribers. Like I said, I would like for y'all to comment a little more. In the comment section, you can catch me on Facebook at Harry Hicks. You can catch me on TikTok at Harry Hicks 325. Harry Jay Hicks. That's my tag name. You can go there. You can catch me a little bit everywhere. You can catch me on Instagram at Harry Hicks 913. And again, you can donate monetarily to this channel, man, or to this podcast at H.Hicks 1976 and that's at PayPal. I'm gonna have a cash app soon for y'all to send to if you want to donate. But you can, like I said, you don't have to always donate monetarily, man. It's the comments, it's the like, it's the shares, subscriptions, and don't forget to check out the new website, man, at hicksmerchandising.wordpress.com. Again, that's hicksmerchandising.wordpress.com. And again, I want to thank y'all for another edition, man, for joining me here on the sports edition of the Urban Minds podcast. And remember, love and peace always. Love y'all.